So Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. And yes, some of us, just like me, maybe you also are not very happy about the performance. You're not happy about how the win came. But guys, don't forget that maybe later on down the line, if Ruben Amorim is to be sacked, if things do change around the club, at that point, we will be glad, we will be thankful that we did get these 3 points. Now, would a loss have been leading to the process of Amorim leaving one way or the other, either the club sacking him or him leaving by mutual termination? Possibly. However, the fact that we have won this, a game we should have won anyways, at Old Trafford against Burnley, 96 minute, your classic Fergie time. That's how we did it, right? Now, do we deserve it? We're going to go into it in a bit. However, the first things first, let's cover the positives. First thing is, we've got our first 3 points of the season in, which means we now have 4 points in total. We got a draw against Fulham, we lost against Arsenal, and we beat Burnley. Technically, some people might say that's kind of what everybody expected. So we got 4 out of 9. Now, we've got that. We got Mbomo scoring his first goal at the Stratford end. Like, it's kind of magical if you want to call it. And immediately after they scored the equalizer, by the way, that was like 20 or 30 seconds. And instantly Mbomo goes and scores. Mbomo, by the way, let me talk about that guy. He is single-handedly leading this United charge, this United attack. Everything goes through Mbomo. Unfortunately, Cunha got injured. I'm going to come to that in a bit. But on this right side, Mbomo is the guy running shows now. Last season, it was Ahmad. This season, Ahmad, so far in the first 3 games, he has been very, very poor. Very poor. Mbomo is carrying that right-hand side. When it comes to crossing, it's Mbomo. When it comes to chance creation, it's Mbomo. When it comes to taking a shot first time, it's Mbomo. When it comes to creating an opportunity to take a shot, to take a shot that you would think other class wingers in the Premier League take. That is what Mbomo is doing for us right now. And this is invaluable, guys. Because there is no other player in this team who is going to be doing that. We brought on Zirkzee and Mino. And Zirkzee probably didn't have the best game. However, still, we saw that the ball started ticking in the second half when Mino and Zirkzee were on. Which makes you wonder, why wasn't Amorim playing them in the first place? Probably because he doesn't want to keep the ball ticking. He just wants the ball in transition, played forward, and he always did mention this. He doesn't want possession for possession's sake. That's all good saying that. But what it's translating into with Amorim is, I don't care how the team plays. All I care about is just goals and just being efficient. Efficiency still requires the ball. You need to have a little bit of the ball. And in our case, we do not have the ball. More often than not, we give the ball to the opposition to kind of counter us, and which is probably the worst counter formula I've ever heard of. Why is that? Because once they attack us, they're going through the bagel midfield. And when they go through that bagel midfield, we know what happens. Going back to the positives again, we brought on Sesko. Again, in the 1 or 2 chances he did have, that one leap from Sesko, that tells us a lot about what he is, right? You put crosses in for this guy is going to leap like a salmon. That jump when he jumped over the Burnley defender, that was like a Ronaldo jump. Tell me I'm lying. And you get the ball to him in the right areas, he's going to score headers for fun. Sesko is just athletic just like that. Like, naturally, he will be able to help us do things that we have not been able to do in the past with Højlund, with, you could even say Zirkzee, really. Sesko is a freak of nature. We could really benefit from that. And by the way, one thing that surprised me, and yeah, this would actually add to the positive, was Mason Mount. Today, Mason Mount, for a change, was technically good. At the same time, he was pressing as well. One or two of his passes to Mbomo were just... I did not imagine that Mason Mount still had it in his locker after Chelsea. I did not think he had it, but he was still pinging long balls like this was Chelsea Mount. And this really did surprise me. So I thought, you know what? Mason Mount's having a good game. All right. All we need to do to change the game, push Mount back into midfield with Casemiro, take Bruno off because Bruno is having a horrible game, drop Zirkzee in, and maybe games could change. But then Amorim takes Mount off when Mount was actually playing good today. So I don't understand what Amorim really wants from his players. Now, that's the end of the positives, unfortunately. We won. Bruno scored the penalty at the end. He made up for last week's miss. Now, let's get into what actually happened. We should have been winning this by 3 or 4-0, and we would have been, just like the Grimsby game, it would have been like, okay, That's a very solid start, but that doesn't tell us much because we're going to be looking at the bigger teams. But a good start, to say the least. Now, we did not get that at all. In this game, it was mostly United kind of hoping for something that would break, some chance that would just be created out of thin air. What do I mean by this? Fernandez, Casemiro, they were in charge of pretty much launching the ball, pinging the ball through to the wingers without a second thought, thinking, you know what, one of them is going to latch onto the ball. And even Bayender was instructed to ping long balls. Guys, why do we still, in 2025, ping long balls to wingers who can't really get the ball down? Mbomo can. But once your opponents have figured out that Mbomo is our main target, right? All the balls go to Mbomo. Everything runs through Mbomo. You circle Mbomo. You put 2-3 men on him, and he's pretty much stifled. Which is going to happen very soon, by the way, because once Cunha is out of the picture, and Cunha, by the way, in the first half, well, regardless of what you want to say, he was still showing energy, intent, and it's just not clicking for him quite yet. But you could still see there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of passion that comes behind Cunha, along with technical ability. But all that's going to be now cut short because the way Cunha left the field, yes, I know he was walking off the field, but the fact he didn't even go to the bench once, he went straight down the tunnel, that means he's probably injured. He pulled his hamstring. It's very similar to Liam Delap, I think. And this could be 1, 2, 3 months. We don't know. But this doesn't look good. That's all I'm saying. Now, once Cunha is back, we're going to have a resurgence. But by that time, what's the state of the team? Nobody knows. And then, guys, in that midfield, I will say this. I don't know what Bruno was doing today. I know he got the last minute penalty. He won as the penalty clutch player and all that. But when it comes to him actually playing on the field, when it comes to him dictating, I'm already bored of saying this. When is he going to start playing with his brain and not with his feet? What I mean by that is, there are moments where he should pick the ball first times. There are moments where he should just keep it ticking. There are moments where he should actually take a shot first. But he gets it wrong each and every time. When he's supposed to ping a long ball through, he tries to pick an option behind him. He either passes to Euro, Delict, or right beside him, Casemiro. When he's supposed to be keeping the ball calm, he tries to look for a long ball through. Our midfield again did not have energy. Mino wasn't given a chance till, of course, the 45th minute. And let's get this straight, guys. The system is just not working, right? It's just not working. We have scammed a win, and because of this scamming of a win, yes, we got 3 points. Yes, it's going to be valuable in the long term. But this has definitely saved his season because this has happened multiple times, and I'm telling you, this is going to happen before the next international break as well. I think we play Brentford just before we break for the international break. What's going to happen is we're going to have City and Chelsea where the performances are going to be as bad, and then we're going to go to Brentford thinking, you know what, it was so bad these 2 games, it's going to be the same thing as Brentford. What is going to happen is we're probably going to get another draw or we're going to win there. Again, the same way. Because when you look at the cycle of the last season of a manager at United, this is what normally happens. With Jose, this is the case. With Ole, this is the case. With Ten Hag, this is the case. You get one chance. This was his first chance. And he won this game. He's not going to lose. Now, he's going to get a second chance, which is Brentford. Again, he's going to survive that. It's probably going to be the third one or after that during the November international break. That is when Ruben Amorim is going to be sacked because his luck is just going to run out. And how long are we going to keep scamming a few performances, wins? Performances, I don't mind, by the way. It's when you perform like this and you scam a win, it doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Does it seem right for you guys winning this way, thinking that this is the way that it's going to go forward? Because do understand that this is a Burnley team. A Burnley team that will probably get relegated this season at Old Trafford. This is very similar to how we played Ipswich last season. Again, we won 3-2, but the goals weren't coming. It wasn't coming from anywhere else. But we got the win, and I think that's what's important anyways from today. Amorim survives, and also we need a midfielder, we need a goalkeeper. Get on that. I'm sure Ineos will do something tomorrow. We'll at least put a bid in. What do you guys think? Who are we going to sign? Are we going to sign anybody for transfer deadline day? Comment that all down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.